We do be live. Come on, rascal. All right, what's up, guys? It's not too late, I reckon. Guys. Oh, man. What's up, Truth Seeker, TCs? My man in the house. How y'all doing? Good. Man, this is so cool. We got like a little community, right? You guys know each other, always being in the chat. That's cool, man. Pressure washing. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Got some new camera gear recently. What's up, guys? What's up? Green Optimus, Wrights, TCs, AP, the man. I appreciate it, dude. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna let a few other people get on in here in a bit, and then I'll kind of crank up. I don't like having a like an itinerary. You know, all through school, I never. They were like, "Now, when you do your speech, you want to write it all out, and you want to have a little card of bullet points." I said, "No, I'm gonna run off the cuff. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I kind of like to do it." And I usually averaged a high B. You know, I had a teacher one time. I was so good at answering questions. She would ask us, and this was in college. I went for like this long to college before I dipped, and I was going to the University of South Alabama. Imagine Aaron at the university, any university, right? Not my place. And I would come in, and she would have. We were supposed to read the book the night before, an excerpt out of the book. She had one question. This is how college does it, right? One question written on the board in dry erase, and you had to answer it. It was relevant to what you were supposed to read. I never read a dang thing, and somehow I was able to dissect what these characters were about just by their names. And I would write something, and I'd get like a solid, 82 somehow. Eventually, she figured it out. She figured me out. She started eyeballing me because it was an 8 a.m. class, and it was in Mobile, Alabama. It was about a 35-minute drive for me over the bay every morning. It was a bad decision. Okay. I should not have booked the class at 8 a.m. That was a dumb, young Aaron decision, thinking I could make it. I was driving the old 1980 model Z28 Camaro that I had at the time, cruising across the bay at 7 o'clock. I would get in there, BS that question, and somehow I would get like an 82. And I don't know. I kind of made that my style, flying by the seat of my pants, calculated enough, right? Calculated enough to be effective, but still loose, light on my feet. You know what I mean? They had some kids, as you know, there's always the teacher's pets, but in college, it seems, everybody's kind of an individual. And they have these, kids that are just super, super smart. And we didn't gel really well. That's before I knew kind of the propaganda. That's before I was a little more adept, or before I kind of had taken the red pill, if you will, of life and business. I didn't know anything. I was selling legal insurance at the time, and it was doing all right. I was doing decent, you know what I mean? But I was thinking I was going to go to college and get a degree, and that wasn't in the cards for me. Went to music. The rest is history. Started washing, and here's what you get. Oh, man. Dewey, what's up, buddy? So tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about the mental game. You guys know I'm a lot. I'm all about this mental side of business. Mainly, I guess I talk about it a lot simply because I've dealt with it a lot, right? Usually you talk a lot about the things you've dealt with, because I've had to suss through it. in my own life, try to figure out, um, weave my way through this maze of the mind, and done a lot of reading, done a lot of studying, marketing, sales, you know. I love those psychological elements. I recommend all of you guys, pick up a book. A great book is the 80/20 Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. Excellent book. I don't think I've ever said that one on the channel, but amazing book. That's a book that I reference. I reference time to time. A lot of books you read, you read them once and you kind of toss them aside. That's one that you go back to, one that you write in the margins. You know, um, the mental game of business is this, and I'm not Elon Musk by any stretch, but I have been able to achieve in a short period of time, and kind of against my own life odds, more than I ever thought I would be able to achieve in pressure washing. Truly, like I thought music was going to be it for me, and I was good. I was really good at music. It was something that I leaned on. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what God blessed me with. I'm in the right zone. Things were happening, things were popping, right? You can kind of get that feeling, that momentum, that pull, if you will. And I was getting that. And so I was like, this is obviously where I'm supposed to be. Turns out that's not where I was supposed to be. Plot twist. God has a funny sense of humor like that. And I dealt a lot with uh, the mental side of the music business, which is grueling. The music business, the mental game, first off, none of them are entrepreneurs. Okay. None of them. And it seems like they would be, right? They're creating their content, they're creating their music, they're creating a business, and they do have a quote unquote business under their name, but they're all, at the end of the day, unless you're like a Young Dolph or some of these guys who are very independent in the rap game, or there's few country guys who are independent who are still like crushing. There's a few of them. They're obscure, but they're out there. There's a few of them crushing. But to remain independent means you get no support, means you get very little radio play, if at all. Okay. So you're retaining your soul by limiting your finances. That's what it is. And that's fine. Actually recommend that now for people who are going into that game. Like, keep your soul. Do not sell out. I had Sony Records tell me to my face, we just don't believe that we can control you. That's what they told me. And I've said this a few times. I've meant to get that, put it on like a canvas, real cool, that quote, because that was a turning point in my life when somebody told me in a position that I wanted the record deal, right? It turns out I dodged a major bullet of soul selling. It was like, what if I changed who I was to become something they could control? What if I went down that rabbit hole? What if I sold my soul in that regard? And that's what that means, right? I don't know that there's a seance going on. I don't know the answer to that. Okay. There may be in the upper levels of music, um, but I wasn't privy to it. What I'm talking about selling your soul is selling your soul in regards to them ruling over you, telling you what you need to do for the prospect of fame, money, whatever follows with that, right? Whatever ensues with that. And I'll tell you, in the music game, even at the lower levels, um, you can get anything you want. Okay. Even at the lower levels, the music game, the lower guys can get any girl there. Meaning, if you're married, it's a problem. Okay. Because all the girls there want to be with you. Okay. You can get any drug, any substance like that. There's a guy for that. And he's always around. It's not the same guy, but at every event, every place you go, there's a guy who has the hookup. All right. Um, there's a million ways to destroy the foundation of something you've built or something you aspire to have, and they're around you all the time. It's just not a good environment um, to be in, you know. But the mental game of business is this, and this is as simple as I can make it, and this is what I think all entrepreneurs struggle with, regardless if they tell you or not. Um, is if you keep doing what you did last year, you'll get the same thing this year. And that scales, okay? That scales to millions and millions of dollars. All right. It's, and usually it pertains to sales and marketing. Usually, there comes to a point where a lot of guys get trapped in the scaling process of not having the right people wearing the right hats. You're wearing all of them, right? Cody talks a lot about this. And that's a problem as well. But the one thing I've seen is that most people just will not change the way they think about investing in A, themselves, or B, sales and marketing. They won't spend the money, they won't invest, and they keep getting what they've got. So there's two ways to do it. Either you learn it, which is good, or you buy it, which is good as well. If you know you're not going to be able, this is where self-awareness comes in. If you know you're not going to be able to learn it, you know you're not a technical guy, then you buy it. If you're a tech guy, then you learn it. But then you're going to, usually techie, nerdy type guys are not going to be very good at working on equipment or washing in general. They're more indoor type of guys. So we just so happen to deal with a lot of blue collar guys in our world. They're guys who've worked before, they worked outside, they've done things. That's the majority of people who get started. They've been on a roof in the middle of summer, roofing or landscape or something, and they get involved and they know how to work on the equipment. They know how to run the equipment, right? Most of them. I'm probably giving many too much credit. But what they don't know how to do is market. And it's not that they don't know how. They don't have the level of awareness, or they're unwilling to humble themselves enough to know that they need to buy it. So they know how to run the equipment. They know they suck at marketing, but they're so scared to buy it that his business dies, or it just stays stagnant, and just has a few leads dripping in here and there. I will tell you, if you find the honey hole of fish, right, which is a marketing process that sends you more and more leads, right? You put some money in and it starts sending you leads. Here's what you do. Never turn it off. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Even in winter. Ever. Don't ever turn it off. Why do we do that? One, because we want the leads. Two, because we're betting on ourselves and we're conquering the inner fear that we have, the inner scarcity that we have, and the urge to turn it off and save the money. That line is the plague that plagues all contractors: saving money. And many people who watch this are not going to hear me. They heard the line, they heard me audibly say it, but it's not going to enter. It's not going to enter the brain. It's not going to process. So there needs to be a level of awareness on your behalf to understand that we all possess these fears, especially if you grew up where I grew up. Like, I love my dad. My dad, I have a great dad. Grateful. Dad and his company, not going to invest in marketing. Not going to do it. Ain't going to do it. And not like going to tell you it doesn't work. Like, not mad about it. Not telling you it's like snake oil or something. No, just not going to get around to doing it. All right, and he built a successful business in, 45 years. It took him a good long time to get up and running. Okay. And this was the time when he was the only auto shop in Daphne, Alabama when he started. All right. So the mental battle is the thing you all have to conquer. And how do you weigh this out? This is how I look at it. What did I do last time that got a positive result? That was what Cody and I would call low calorie. Low calorie meaning low input, low sweat, right? It may be even the lowest money for the biggest ROI. What was that? Give me that criteria. Then we duplicate it, right? Then we put triple the money into it. That's what you do. Because if there's one fish out there, there's got to be five more. And if there is, I'm going to catch them. And if there isn't, we're going to know and check off this box. The value of checking off the box, guys, like having the map in front of you of the lake where the fish are and saying, okay, I caught a fish right over here in this little area. All right. I'm going to go hammer that area. Big old fish. I bet there's another one down there. And you go over there and you don't catch another fish the rest of the afternoon. Cool. Well, maybe that one fish just wandered over there. Go. Let's X that one off. All right. We didn't catch another. We gave it time. We gave it investment. We gave it gasoline, money in the boat. We went out there. We sat. We tried. But most people never give it the time to work, to exhaust itself so they can cross it off the map. The value of crossing something off the map to where now you have just this part of the map. Guys, I'm going to go through every honey hole in this rascal, and eventually I'm going to lock into 2 or 3 that just keep putting fish in the boat. I ain't going to tell us all about these spots, okay? Because I've cleared the whole lake out. I've invested time, effort, money, gasoline, right? You get my analogy. Most people, they go catch a fish here. Cool. They go over here. They try to catch a fish. They may go back over here to try to catch another fish. No. When you lock into a lunker with a process of your marketing, Google Ads, whatever it is, Google Ads are very effective. Google Ads are one of the most mysterious, effective things that a contractor can run up against, especially you guys who are not technically savvy. All right. A lot of people think they're hard to run. They're not hard to run. You just don't know how to run them. It's like guys can't believe Cody's getting 3.5 stories with a 12 volt. Can't believe it. Well, he does a video on it, shoots 3.5 stories up a hotel with a 12 volt system, not the super pump, 12 volt system. And it's stucco, right? So you can see it really good when it gets wet. 3.5 stories. I'll be damned. Right? It's almost like you just don't know how to build the system. So there's a knowledge break in the building of the system that one may have where they would say, okay, 12 volt can't shoot that high. No, it can. You just don't know how to run it. You just don't know how to build it. Could there be a knowledge gap that you don't know about in your marketing? Could there be honey holes of fish out there that you haven't hit? Imagine if you were able to just press a button when you wanted to and leads started coming in. Wouldn't that be cool? But how many guys will give it the thought? How many guys shut down at 5 p.m.? Is that you and you're the first year of your business? If you're in the first year of your business and you come home, you eat dinner, and then you go watch Netflix, I'm going to tell you it's going to be hard to make it. Okay? I don't know that you're going to make it. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not being negative. I'm loving you from afar because I want you to change. I genuinely want everyone who watches my channel to win. I genuinely want you all to win. I don't believe in scarcity. Okay. I love having an enemy or a competition or something because it helps, it motivates me. I'm very motivated by almost the negative. You know what I mean? I'm very motivated by like the battle. I like being in the battle. Tony Robbins would probably say that's not the way to do it, but that's the way I do it. And it's been effective up until this point. I guess, there's a point you hit where you're more motivated by giving back. I can't stand that shit. Giving back. What's giving back, man? Who you doing that for? Go on now. Tell me who you doing that for. Does it make you feel good to give back? It should. It should make you feel good. But it's selfish. And it's okay to be. It's okay. But don't make it sound like it's selfless. It ain't selfless. See? A lot of people put the money in the tithe thing at church on Sunday so they can get into heaven. That ain't just to help out with a building fund or something, because they supposed to. Got to get in heaven. There's a lot of people like that. They ain't no giving back. That's not real. Okay? It's not real. There's a reason. And that's okay, but as long as we're upfront about it. All right? There's a reason. And the reason could be just makes you feel good. That's all right, but let's be honest. Okay? What I'm saying is there's deep internal motivations for why you're unable to spend more money on your marketing. You feel like if you spend money, you might lose it. You feel like if you spend money and as soon as you put out the first flyer, it doesn't get a call. Really, it's the first 10,000 flyers should be the test. First off, minimum. Then, if we don't get any calls, we could possibly say, well, maybe I hit the wrong part of the lake, or maybe I just need to hit that part of the lake 7 more times with these flyers. You know how many people they send out? 1,000 flyers. I think it's a lot. I think 1,000's a lot. First off, it's not. So let me break and rebuild this paradigm. 1,000 flyers is nothing. 1,000 flyers go in the trash. You got to hit the same zip code 7 times. The same zip code, the same people within a short period of time. You got to hit them probably once a week for the next 7 weeks. So flyers don't seem so cheap now, do they? They work. Why do you think they still use them? Why do you think you still get a stack full of mail every day? A stack full of quote unquote junk mail. That's okay. One man's trash, another man's treasure. There's somebody cutting out them little Domino's coupons they're sending you, and they're going up to Domino's getting a pizza. Domino's making a profit, as they should. They're hammering the flyers. Most people just don't do enough of the right activity. They don't let it build. We have a microwave society now. Everyone thinks it's going to come quickly. Let me tell you something. Nothing that lasts comes quickly. Nothing. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I told Justin this a while back. It's always like a 5 minimum year run to really start feeling like you're solid and can just take the blows of everyday business, right? To where you feel like the boat will float kind of on its own. It's a 5-year to 10-year run. Okay. Todd says Rome was not built in a day. No, it was not. They were incredibly efficient in Rome, oddly. I was watching a thing on that, but it was not built in a day. It took many years, and they had many Italian slaves probably building that thing. All that stuff. But thank you, Michael. He said he really enjoyed the boot camp, man. I really appreciate that, dude. Serious starter boot camp this past weekend. Sold out. Great group of guys. I would probably say one of the best classes. It was really, really fun. We taught a lot, 2 days, packed. Cody taught the first day. I taught the second day. my mission on those events is to clear the mist and the fog of what is the most effective move uh, that you can take to get a heavy ROI. That's something that over the past couple of years, Cody and I have kind of mastered as far as what we've done with Skunk Washworks, right? Batch Buster, Super Pump, tips, chemicals, some of the way that we've rolled that out, right? Basically taking over the market for better or for worse, whether they like us or not, which is how we operate. We got about as much tolerance for bullshit as a Panzer track, and coming full speed, invested $500,000 in R&D. Okay. But like when I say that, like I know that line just passes. Do you realize that when you start going into the unknown, I say $500,000 in R&D, that line just passes. It just goes in one ear and out the other. I'm asking you to spend $1,500 a month on Google ads. That's what I'm asking. All right. But here's what I'm telling you. I'm not discounting how you feel about it. Okay. I too felt the same resistance. Okay. I felt the resistance. If you read this book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill and Sharon Lecter, I believe it's like Lecture, you will start to understand the resistance, the voice that tells you, well, I could lose my money. That's not even what the voice says. It says, well, maybe I'll put it off till next month. Maybe I'll wait. That's what the voice says. Sneaky voice. See, and anybody who says they don't have this is too deep in it, almost unsavable. Okay. Everyone has this. If you didn't have this voice of resistance with its hooks in you, we'd all be billionaires. We'd all be billionaires because billionaires are so efficient with business. They're so efficient with decision making that they have zero resistance in their mind. Because if you realize what it takes to become a billionaire and how fast you have to compress time frames, billionaires usually happen in 5-10 years. The guy becomes a billionaire, right? Like that's the work period. He becomes a billionaire and he's working, and it happens. How many people do you know who've done that in 10 years? Who've done it at all? Do you realize how efficient you have to be? It's like every day is packed with a heavy hitting phone call with a decision maker that could possibly change your life. That's the magnitude of every day. Are you treating every day in your business like that? That every day could be a giant apartment complex for you that's like $50,000. Why isn't it? Do you discount yourself and say, well, I don't have the right equipment for that? Let me tell you what, if I was one of you guys, boy, and I got an apartment complex, call me, and I had a little 4-gallon I was dragging around the yard, you best believe Aaron would be there, and I'd drag the 4-gallon for 3 weeks. Okay? I would. I just would. Because I had to have the money. Todd Ketchow came to the event this past week. And Todd Ketchow is a superstar. Todd Ketchow did $135,000 in his first year pressure washing. He came to WashCon last year. And in that period of time, he did $135K first year. Like that's super awesome, man. Starting from nothing, no contacts in this world, didn't own a landscape business before, where he had like this book of service contacts where he could tap into that, added the service. No, none of that. Just came in super positive. Todd technically is very adept at marketing and didn't need the event, but he came anyway. Mike Turman, He came to Washathon in 2018, the event. Mike Turman makes 7 figures a year in his pressure washing business now. He came to WashCon last year. Mike Turman already knows the stuff. He is adept. He's ascended into that level where he knows what we're going to teach. Does he need to come? Some would say no. Interesting. See, maybe it's not the need. Maybe now it's wanting to tap back into the source, tap back in, be around people who are wanting to level up. Do you guys realize the value of being around the right people? Most of us are surrounded by the most negative humans, and you're your family. Let me tell you, you get around some killers, like, sometimes Cody, myself, Mike, Justin, right? Guys could say we're negative. They want to trash us all the time. Cool, man. Look, here's the deal. On that note, y'all are kind of slacking. I need y'all to up that trash talk level because the press is good. So go to the Facebook group, talk the trash, make sure you say that damn lean and mean is an asshole. Maybe it's just the truth is the issue. I had a guy years ago. I love him, Matt Orzelik. Watch the channel 2019-ish. I said something in a video that upset him, and he had bought a course from us. Loved the course, but he was upset. He emailed me, said I rubbed him the wrong way. Matt runs his business, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Emails me a year later after that and says, dude, you know what? You were right. You were right. I just wasn't ready to hear it. Well, hell, I wanted you to go make $500,000 a year in your business the whole time. I don't believe in scarcity. I wanted you to win the whole time. That's why I'm saying this stuff. Because maybe somebody, if it's not me, somebody can like snap you out of whatever. Look, we all have to have our people. We all have to have a book, a piece of information, somebody, an event that snaps us out of it. Right? What do we got here in the chat? I haven't checked on the chat in a minute. I've been on a roll. Gotten a little vein there. Oh, Lord, here we go. Aaron, on pricing high tickets, I've struggled for years. I've been ready. Cody's got the 4. Which one gets more attention? Cody is doing a marketing tactic here. It's a good marketing tactic as well. See, that's like Google ads, right? Sterling Wash, I'm going to answer your question, buddy. But who's going to spend $4.99 on some Google ads over most guys spending the $1.99, right? $4.99 gets you more eyeballs. Google says this dude's here to play. Not in reality. $499 to Google ads is nothing. You're not going to get any eyeballs. So you probably need to hit them with, I don't know, starting at, if you want to really get the eyeballs in Google ads, majority of the time, unless you're in a really populated area, it's probably about $2,000 a month. But you still have to run them right. All right. I've been raising prices slowly now. I've decided to say, fuck it. All prices doubled or I stay home. Bro, see, this is a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough. This is what you got to do. I'm going to tell you, I love that you've gotten to this place, Sterling Wash, because that's where you needed to get. This is the healthiest thing you could do. All prices doubled or I stay home. What that means, probably your prices were just too low that when you were doing the job, you felt shitty about it. You felt like you should never be, whoever's watching this right now, you should never be on a job and feel like you're getting ripped off. Feel like you're working your tail off for not enough money. Dude, go to the house. It's free to stay at the house. See, that was my idea the whole time, when I started, because I had to have money. Okay. And I was like, look, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to price everything high ticket. I'm going to be the highest ticket guy in my area. I'm going to give better service. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to do what everyone else won't do. I'm not going to be a pushover. I'll fire you immediately. Like, step the wrong way one time, I'll fire you as a customer. But I'm going to do everything We talked about, I'm going to be there on time. It's going to be an excellent job. Man, if you will just do that and charge high enough to where people actually respect you, right? It's not that people don't respect you when you're charging these lower tickets. They don't. It's that you don't respect yourself for charging like that. You think that you've got to be in it a certain period of time because the world trains you to think in terms of hierarchies. Well, I'm only in 8th grade. When I get to 12th grade, I'll be better. When I'm in pressure washing for 10 years, I'll be a better washer. No, probably about year 1.5, 2, you got it dialed in on the washing side. Okay. Unless you're just dumb, you got it dialed in, right? You can do as good of job as anyone out there. Don't let anybody tell you different. I hope a fat neck would say something about that, right? Don't let anybody tell you that. All right. You can do as good a job or better than anybody who's been in the business for 10 years. So it's not about that. Year 1.5, it's not about the wash. It's about positioning. How do you present yourself? Do you have enough confidence? Do you have enough ball sack to say, this house, I realize other people are charging $300. Well, for me, it's $500. This house is $700. Well, for me, it's $1,000. And if you walk in this way, Wallace Wattles calls it the certain way. There is a way of certainty. If you walk certainly, a lot of biblical principles here too. People will buy what you're selling. If you're always on your heels, well, what can I do for you? I hope we can work for you. I really do. No, I'm grateful to have the business, but the right word is thank you that I'm here and one of those yahoos ain't over here because I'm going to do an excellent job. You got to walk like you're a professional boxer in that regard. You know how cocky they are and how good they are. The weirdest thing is the cockiest ones win the most. Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, like go down the list. They're all verbally, and I don't say you have to be verbally, but you need to walk a certain way. You got to carry yourself a certain way. You got to exude an energy. Like, I'm here. I'm the guy. I'm going to do the best job of anyone in this city. No one's going to beat me on my quality. Ain't going to happen. I will work all week long. They ain't going to beat me. I'll dig a ditch. I'll do whatever needs to be done in my business, metaphorically, physically. They're not going to beat me. That's what you got to decide. Okay? Double your tickets, dude. The fact that you got here is a win. The fact that went into your mind, you said, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not living in the low self-esteem, low frequency, wallowing in that anymore. If they can't understand what I'm worth, I'll go to the house, drink coffee, smoke cigars, baby. Watch my girl bake bread. You know what I mean? Throw the ball with my son. Once you start acting this way, it's going to unlock something for you. I promise you. It's going to be a breakthrough because you're going to start finding that the fears you worried about, the little thought drama that you always had, was bullshit. It was all bullshit. You made it up. Wasn't the world. The world didn't put it on you. It was all in your head. And we all deal with it. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're at 100,000, if you're at 50,000, if you're at 1 million, if you're at 5, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 100 million, everyone deals with it. No one's immune to it. So if no one's immune to it, you're normal. You're normal, first off. But what do we want to do? We don't want to be normal. We want to level up, right? We want to level up. And this is one of the first ways you can do it is by coming to that conclusion. That's a healthy thought, dude. Good job. What do we got here? Here we go. Cody R, bro. Thank you, dog. Super chat. That's a big old box of Padrones. I'll have to bring down there. Hey, I'll split it with you. We'll split it. We'll smoke it. Let's see. Just got to follow it. Hoff Power's crushing it. Dude, you're already crushing it in your cleaning, and your concrete business as well. But the dude never stops learning. Like, he doesn't stop learning. We all can learn something here. Here's what I love. I love getting a bunch of egos in the room, because usually the guys, like the quarterbacks, the guys who are like, nah, dude, you throw me the ball. Throw me the damn ball. I'm going to score. Those guys, if they can keep their work ethic right, oh, they're a menace. They will destroy you. They will literally talk it and do it. That's who I like being around. Assassins. Guys who know we're going. That's the hill we're taking. Saddle everything up. Sharpen your spears. Yeah, probably going to get cut. Probably going to get stabbed. But I'm going to get some of them too. So let's go. Those are the people you got to get around. If you don't have anyone like that in your life, you got to start acting as if, right? Sterling, you got to start acting in that way. You must manufacture it first. This is the only way I could figure it out. And it worked. You have to act as if you're Leonidas in order to become Leonidas. 300 Spartans. Okay. You don't become Leonidas. You act as if you are already. And then you will become. So people say, so for a portion of that time, you were kind of faking it. Yeah. Get this. Muhammad Ali would say, I am the greatest. Cassius Clay at that point in time. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He was 18. He wasn't, in fact, the greatest at that point in time in his life. At that point in time, he was not. It was a lie. But what was he doing? He was acting as if. He was training as if. He was training like the greatest would train. So if you want to go to that level and you want to level up your business, here's what you got to do. You want to make 30, 40, 50, 100,000 a month in your pressure washing business, okay? You have to act like that guy who makes that. How does he walk? How does he sell? How does he invest in his marketing? What does he do? Not what does he say? What does he do? No, they're not going to tell you, but you can get enough context clues from watching that it will lead you to the next step. Well, he would put more money down on marketing. I know that rascal would. Heck, if you want to follow somebody, follow a Terman. That rascal, this dude will literally shoot howitzers. Bro is not playing with you, okay? Like, he will invest. Terman has no problem spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. No problem. But you'll say, well, he's got the money to do that. He didn't start off like that. But he was that kind of guy from the beginning. He would move. My brother's this way. Pierce will invest money. He'll spend. Boom, boom, boom. He moves quick. He's not slow to decision making. Okay? Move faster. Make the decision quicker. Invest more into your business, into your knowledge, please. Let me go here. What we got? Let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm rooting you on, bro. Genuinely. I'm rooting all of you guys on. The weirdest thing is I'm even rooting like people who don't like me. I'm rooting them on too. I cannot, and this is very selfish. Okay. For me to live in their land of scarcity, right? You come out with a batch buster, a proprietary metering valve. The soft wash world's never had that. Every valve we've ever used was not made for our industry. We've literally cobbled together shit forever. Forever. Gas pumps, they're made for ag. They're not made for what we do. All of them are not. Okay. You come out with a proprietary unit. People can't believe it. Can't believe it. So the first step, right? If you live in where I live in, they shit on it, right? First step, shit on it. Second, violently oppose it, right? For no reason, just because I have probably a bit of an ego, right? For no reason. Just a face, right? If there was no face to the valve, they'd love it. They'd worship it just like they worship big box stores, right? Even if their stuff is subpar. But if you can have a target to shoot at, product must be shit. Right? And then the third phase, which is coming upon now, is that it's self-evident. See, that was coming the whole time, but it's self-evident. It just is the top. Now, many people are building with them. Many builders are building with batch busters. The flow and the metering capability is unmatched. There isn't a true metering valve with even remotely close equivalent flow. There are flow control valves that are not accurate at all with flow. Yes, those exist, which they're basically on all the way if you turn them like batch busters 180 degrees. Amazing flow. Now, I say that because it's a very peculiar thing. It's a weird thing to put something into the market. People who've never even used it don't want it to win. Sounds like your local competition and you, right? But here's the thing. If you know me and you know Cody, we shoot back, right? So we develop a super pump, right? Oh, Lord. Oh, living rent free, right? True innovations built for the soft washing industry, 16 gallons a minute. Incredible. I don't know that a lot of people understand how incredible that is. The real guys do. The guys who've been in it do. The guys who've been in it who don't like us, who do, they don't say nothing because they're scared of it. Simple. Running hot. Right? But what do you think that took? A lot of courage that I didn't possess. Okay? Years ago, I did not possess that courage. So wherever you are, you can build on it. But just promise me that you will build on tomorrow. Like today, unless you're going to go out and knock doors at 9 p.m., it's 9 p.m. here. Today's done. Whatever you've done today is in the books. Tomorrow is another shot. All right. If you hadn't gotten the Local Domination 2 course, there is a crazy in-depth Google Ads training in there. It's about 15 videos of exactly how to run Google Ads for pressure washing. The link should be in the description. If you haven't gone and gotten it, invest. Spring is coming. Invest in yourself. Run the Google Ads the right way. Dial it in. The Local Domination 2 course. I'm telling you, I haven't seen a Google Ads training this in depth specifically for what we do, which is pressure. How to build it, how to target it, where to spend, where to when to nix an ad, when to cancel an ad, right? When it's underperforming. It's very good. If you haven't gotten it, go get it. Seth says, let me see here. Let me get to y'all stuff, okay? He said the creatine is cricketing. Let me see here. Seth says, question for you, my man. I love to learn as much as I can for starting my business. Can you learn enough from the online academy, or is it necessary to shadow someone in the business? You know, the online courses have, I mean, most of the bigger ones have a minimum of like 6, 7 hours worth of content. Okay, so you're gonna watch that. Let's be honest. If you watch the whole thing and you invest in that, I recommend watching it a second time to where you actually retain it. The first time you're not going to retain it, especially if this is a new world for you. Um, that's going to teach you, depending on the one you get, a lot about chemicals, the ones you need, the ones that are maybe extra, right? The ones you may not use as much, save you money there. Um, a lot of the pressure washing training on how to be efficient. Okay. A lot of people think it's just pressure washing, right? Well, I can go wand a driveway. Sure, you can. But what's your time worth at the end of the day? Efficiency is the king of this game. If you can, one guy's only knocking out one house a day, but you have the potential to knock out 2, 3 houses a day, right? That's what those online academies are going to teach you. Okay. Efficiency and a lot of stuff that you just don't know and you can't Google, right? Because you don't know that you don't know. See, if you knew that you didn't know some of the stuff in there, you just Google it. That's a fair assessment. But there's things in the course that are not Googleable because you're unaware they exist. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's like a lingo, right? If you don't know to Google the certain slang term of something, you'll never find it. You could be like, "What is that?" So I would get it. Um, How to Wash is a great course if you're brand new. It's a great course. It's very in depth. A lot of guys have gotten started with that course. Local Domination is much more in depth on the marketing side. Local Domination 2 even goes into like uh, targeting for commercial and how to get not to the manager, how to get to the owner of the McDonald's. You'll find out he owns like 5 McDonald's. Um, the gentleman that does that training, it's not me. Like the guy who does that is an expert in that course. And he trains you exactly how to get to the owners of these buildings, the people who their name is on the building and the business. Very good, like insane levels of targeting. So, Local Dom, that is a marketing course through and through. How to Wash is more processes, chemicals, all of the things that entail uh, pressures, mixes, chemical mixes, all kinds of stuff like that. So I would say both. To answer your question, shadow someone in the business. Yeah, if a guy will let you shadow him, then do it. Most guys are not, just because they don't have the time to bring you on. You're kind of like you're dead weight if they're running a business. It's kind of dead weight on site, and they're training their competition, right? So it's not really a win for him unless you're like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for the day. Maybe he'll take it. Some guys don't care about that either, you know. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Cannot wait to get our hands on Sweet 16, dude. That's coming. That's coming like an asteroid, bro. Oh, cool. Sorry, I didn't see this. Dang, dude. You already said this. Sorry. I'm answering top to bottom. Hoffbauer, he's just destroying. Hoffbauer is a superpower. He's a Superman. He's a superhero. That's what he is. Todd Ketchow, the main man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you, man. Have you seen the Generac commercial 3,300 psi 3-gallon cold water gas? I have not seen that. It's probably a decent washer. The only thing is the 3 gallons a minute. Look, if that's your budget, then buy the thing and go clean something. But other than that, I would at least get a 5.5 gallon, and then I would move to an 8. Yes, bro. Go out there and get the money. Mike T, dude. Hey, thank you, Mike T, for the super chat as well. Do you so Mike T, look, I want to tell you, I'm talking about Mike Turman here. This is Mike Turman. All right. Super chat for $200. Who's the only other guy who super chatted me for $400. Cody Yarbrough, right? Where's he at? There he is. Boom. Now, do you see how those guys are with their money? Mike will go make freaking $5,000 tomorrow. Now, I don't care. I'm not those type of YouTubers like super chat me. Okay. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. I'm not going to make a call to action to super chat. But how those two guys are. Cody's not being flippant with his money. He's very calculated with his money. But once you develop what we call the lens, I call it a lens, right? And here's where here's what the trainings do. Okay. Here's what being in the field and taking the trainings and hanging out with the right people like Catchow, like Terman, like Hoffpower, like some of these guys. Right now in your business, I want you to imagine it's 1 a.m. in the morning and you step out on the back porch. There's no city. You're in a rural area and you look out across a dark field. There's no moon. There's no stars. Okay. And you can't even see your hand in front of your nose. It's that dark. It's like being in a cave. You can't even see your hand in front of your face. When you develop the lens, a lens for seeing opportunity, what you'll be able to do, and this is crazy because I've gotten better at this over the years. It's like putting on a pair of thermal goggles and immediately you see that little white blip of a coyote. He was out there the whole time. That's what happens. You develop a way of seeing opportunity. He was out. The opportunity was there the whole time. If you were going to shoot him, right? The opportunity was there. The deer, whatever, were there the whole time. You can't shoot deer at night. But say it's a pack of hogs, right? And they're eating up your field. Well, you can't see them because it's pitch black. But when you put on the lens, and the lens takes time to get, you see all those little white heat blips out there. They're out there. You just can't see it. So how much money and time do you have to invest to get there? A lot. More than you're currently comfortable with. So use this metric, and I'll let you go. Use this metric, all right? I'm looking at this, and then I'll give you the metric. Hey, Sterling, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Pope High Flow. That's a good one. I need a shirt with that on. Pope High Flow. Pastor High Ticket and Pope High Flow. Oh man, I'm an Inner Circle guy. I love this. He's your little state to expect it. Oh, Rhode Island, man. That's awesome, dude. We'll link up with him. You already know he's good people if he's in the Inner Circle, man. Yes, probably. $1,000 budget. A lightly used 5.5. That's what I would get. Oh man. They shall. That Super 8 is a mean mosquito, dude. Now don't be telling everybody everything now. See clear. Don't be telling everybody everything now. The Super 8 pump is a mean little mosquito. It's the 12-volt killer. It's got more ass on it than the Northern Tool 24-volt. And I honestly think it flows more personally. It feels like it flows more because it shoots harder than the Northern Tool 24-volt. It's got more ass, it's got more pressure to it when it's coming out. So that is I'm reading you guys' comments. That's a special pump. The Sweet 16 is an absolute killer. It's the B2 Spirit bomber. Okay. But the Super 8 is like an F-35 Lightning. Thank you, my friend. Bro, landed the 95 unit townhome complex. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Yes. Yes, dude. This is how you do it. This is how you win. You do the thing. It's going to be hard, right? All right. You don't have the right equipment right now, whatever. Everybody has this precipice they run up against in the beginning where they get a bigger job. They bid a job. It's a little too big for what you've got. Yeah, it's going to be hard for that week or 2 weeks or whatever, how long it's going to take you. It's going to take you a while because you don't have the right equipment. Well, as long as you invest in better equipment after the fact, you take some of that money and you put it back into speed, which is equipment, efficiency, which is equipment, you'll never have that problem ever again. Pressure washing is easy like that. It's not like bulldozing or land clearing or anything like that, dude. You don't have to have a skidder and a bulldozer and a dump truck and a trailer and another skidder and another thing. No, dude. You get a trailer and that thing can do 300,000, 350 a year. Okay? So absolutely. So I want you to develop this metric. You must listen to yourself. This is hard to do. And I'm going to leave you this because I've been doing this for an hour. Go get the Local Domination 2 course. I've put it in the link in the description. So go grab it. But develop this metric for yourself. Listen to what your mind says about investing in your business as far as marketing goes. Listen. You'll hear it. Well, we should postpone that. We could do that later. We can't do that right now. You got the money. You just don't want to spend it on that. Well, maybe we'll wait. We'll wait and do it then. Oh, nice excuse. Sounds rational. Sounds logical. That's how Lucifer makes it sound. You realize it's supposed to sound good. Being lackadaisical, being scared is supposed to sound logical. It's brilliant. It's brilliantly orchestrated to make you stop. That's why it sounds the way it sounds in your head. That's why you come to the conclusion of backing off and not investing, not putting the money down on Google Ads, not putting the money into the website, right? Not getting it at all. Staying right here. We'll stay right here for now. Bro, you just landed a $2,000 job. 15% of that goes to marketing anyway. If you go by the law of 15, Pastor High Ticket. Okay? It's not your money. 15% of that's not your money. It's marketing department's money. But I want you to listen to what your mind says this week about taking the next step. Whether it's approaching a commercial business owner, whether it's quoting a job, Sterling, higher than you feel comfortable, you're going to hear the voice, dude. I promise you. Think of me. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to do it anyway. You're going to close it in spite of the voice. Everyone's got it. If you say you don't have it, you're too unaware and you have such low frequency that you're not even in the running. Because a guy, look, nothing against it, a guy who's not living in a giant mansion, okay, cannot say that he doesn't hear the voice. Everybody hears the voice. So what do you do when you hear it? Do you do the thing in spite of it? That's the road, dude. That's the compass. That is the compass, especially only when it pertains to progress. I'm not talking about if you hear the voice that's like, don't do drugs. No, I recommend not doing drugs. Okay, I recommend not becoming an alcoholic. Okay, I recommend that. Don't do that. So if you hear that one, I'm talking about progress, the voice of fear. It wants to keep you tethered with its hooks in you, keeping you here, making little money. Most of the world does this. Most of the world works for somebody else. Okay. So those are natural voices. All right. But when you hear it, right now, you know, we got something else coming out. I don't know if Cody's told anybody. Uh, got a lot of ammunition coming, right? I have an ammunition company. And yeah, it's going to be great. And what happened with that, right? Hear the voice. Man, you could probably wait and do it later. You know what I did in spite of the voice? Right? Wrote a check for the building is what I did. The whole building. Wrote a check for it. Didn't take out a loan. I work in spite of the voice. Put your money where your mouth is. And if you do that and you keep breaking the chains that bind you, eventually you're making so much money, man. Like, you just have to decide, when do you want to stop? Okay. If you keep investing in yourself, keep investing in your business, invest in your family, invest in like other investments that are going to put off money for you. Okay. It's not just about pressure washing here. I'll see you guys. Y'all been great. Appreciate it. Catch Al. I'll see you, brother. Hey, dude. Go out there and get that money, TCs, dude. Hey, break those tethers, dude. You're going to hear it this year. We got to level up. We have to level up. We have to. We have to put more money into things that pay us. Okay? Sterling. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Catch Al. See, this is a great group, man. Good culture, dude. Look, only positivity in here, as you guys saw in the chat. Only positivity, only winning. This ain't some cesspool Facebook group. We're all here helping each other out. We want each other to win. We can go out this year and crush it together. All right? You got to get away from, look, if you're in some of them Facebook groups, dude, you got to get out of them. Everybody in there is just, it's poison. It's poison. Look, I send some of them back in there to chirp me just because I got to keep my name up at the top, rent free. Hell, I'll annihilate one of them just so he'll go run his mouth. They don't understand that all press is good press. They're like literally dumb like that. They don't get it, which is fine. I'll work them psychologically like that, but don't hang out in there because it's terrible, dude. It's poison. All right. $500K, one truck. Bro, you can do that, dude. I know you can do that. Still crushing with that Gen 2 Lumimax. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You damn right. Teach Justice. Justice is going to be a killer by the time he's 25, dude. They're going to give us their money. I'm going to end it on that. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Go get it.